Hello, my love. Welcome to RX Tarot. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the full moon in Leo, opposing Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto, all in Aquarius. This is a very intense full moon. So to get started, let's just look at the chart. Okay, let's just look at the chart. That's a laser beam. That is a laser beam. And when you actually look at it from this perspective and you remember that the moon is our inner world, it's our inner sensitivities, it is the deeper truth of who we actually are inside. This is a very intense full moon. It is activating all of our Aquarius energy, helping us realize who we really are on a deeper level. So before I get ahead of myself, we're going to dive in here shortly. And if you're new here, hello, my love. My name is Reilly X. I am a professional astrologer. I have been for 4 years, and I help my clients truly understand their astrology, human design, and use tarot to help them understand where they currently are in order to choose the path that is most in alignment with them. I apologize if you hear cat sounds or cat noises or cat toys in the background. That's a part of my everyday life. So, to dive into this, let's get started. Let's answer the question most people are going to be asking. Is this good or bad? Right? Everyone wants to know this because everyone wants to see a transit and immediately know if it's something that's going to benefit them or be hard for them to deal with. So let's start where everyone wants to know, is this a good or bad transit? I'm here to show you how you can make it as good or bad as you want to, but things are always going to shift. Things are definitely going to shift, whether you like it or not, this time around. And that's usually how life goes, right? So let's break down the meanings of each planet in this transit before I explain my personal perspective on the entire transit. One of the things that drives me nuts is when I see people talking about transits, they talk about one piece, like the full moon in Leo. If I were to just talk about the full moon in Leo right now, I would be missing 90% of what's actually happening in the sky. So I want to remind you, good and bad depend on the perspective you hold on the situation. Turning pain into purpose is the name of the game these days. So don't act like this is something that is going to ruin your life. Don't act like this is something that's going to fix everything. You need to understand the actual energy and what you can do with it. So, with that being said, let's do a little planet breakdown, okay? The sun in Aquarius. This energy does not go with the crowd. This is about pure authenticity and futuristic creations. Trendsetters and people who do things in a way that does not fit the status quo. This is why when you see people say the sun in Aquarius is in detriment, I feel like that is old, outdated terminology that is not actually helpful all of the time, because the word detriment sounds bad. The sun in Aquarius is experimental and goes against the grain and is not somebody who's going to fit in with the status quo and the norm of what everyone wants it to be. Now, Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury is all about our mind, communication, the way we think, the way we speak, the way we express. So Mercury in Aquarius is piercingly honest, and it's clarity of the path ahead. So when you talk to somebody with their Mercury in Aquarius, they may speak from this very detached, futuristic sort of way of thinking. What I mean when I say that is, this is what we need to do in order to get to where we want to go. It's not going to hold your hand. It's not going to be cuddly and cozy. It's going to be piercing and honest. Now, Venus in Aquarius. Venus is this energy that everyone thinks is lovey-dovey and warm, because a lot of the times it is, right? But Aquarius is no bullshit. Aquarius is the truth of what is currently happening, what needs to be done, what needs to be fixed. Where things can feel a little bit dark, where it's always darkest before the dawn, People with their Venus in Aquarius, like myself, tend to be people who can hold space for grief and sadness and also show people the light. Remember that there is more than meets the eye. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. So with that being said, Venus in Aquarius is enduring love, learning to love where you currently are no matter how hard it seems, learning to deeply appreciate the partner you have and connection you have to commit to this long-term connection. An attraction without pressure, just presence. Explaining that Venus in Aquarius attracts through authenticity feels boring and feels one-sided, but it's true. Venus in Aquarius is. Venus in Aquarius exists and does not force, does not push. That is what is so attractive about Venus in Aquarius. The energy of existence, the energy of being still, being present, being someone you can talk to about whatever it is you're going through, and the unconditional love and acceptance is just there. That's something that not everybody understands, and Venus in Aquarius is not an aggressive kind of love. It's a very patient, enduring kind of love. Now, Mars is in Aquarius as well. Mars is how we do things. Mars is how we take action. So new ways of doing is pretty obvious. Doing things that we know will benefit us in the long run. Doing things that we know will lead to success eventually. Mars in Aquarius is also the light at the end of the tunnel. This is the person, this is the people who, these are the people who can help us push forward, keep going, look towards the light, keep finding the end of the tunnel. Like, this is people who are meant to guide us when things are at their darkest. And the reason I say all of this, Aquarius energy is hope. It's the star card in astrology, right? So it's not just about structure. Like, Saturn is very focused on structure, but when you realize Mars in Aquarius really asks us to do things differently because there is another side. You have to have faith that there is another side. Pluto is also in Aquarius, and this is the piece that is the loudest. I understand there are 4 other planets that are literally being activated here. Pluto is the loudest. Pluto is destruction of outdated norms. Pluto in Aquarius, specifically, destruction of outdated norms and the rebirth of the collective conscious. This energy is so intense. This energy is very intense, and it's asking you to let go of what you thought society was. Let go of what you thought you had to do and who you thought you had to be in order to succeed in life. Pluto in Aquarius is asking us to really look at, what do we want for our future? This is not just about what we want on a personal level, but when you realize what you want on a personal level is what will shape the collective. That is the true magic behind Pluto. Acknowledging that whatever is falling apart is showing us what can no longer sustain, but we have to make the choice of what we want to continue, of what we want to have. So with that being said, what about the full moon in Leo? The moon's influence is always going to be very intense. The moon is our inner world, it's our inner emotions, it's our inner sensitivity. The full moon is a time of release and receive. You've probably heard me say this a million times. But with the full moon in Leo, this is the height of creative expression. This is the release of outdated internal identity. Who do you think you are? If you're still trying to hold on to this idea that you have to do things a certain way and that you And that if you don't force things, if you don't push through, you're going to miss out on your chance. If you're still in this mentality of giving your power away, this full moon is helping you release all of that. And that can be kind of painful, right? Shedding an old identity and stepping into a new one is not pretty, but it is exceptionally powerful. And it is a time to be kind to yourself and love yourself into the next level. You can't hate yourself into the next level. You can't grind your way into the next level, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, of course you can push a vacuum around your apartment all day long and be like, look, I've worked really hard. But if you don't plug the vacuum in, all of that work was for nothing. So yes, you can build the business, you can force yourself, you can make it happen, all of these really hard ways. But if you are not regulating your emotions and building slowly, it is a tower that will eventually fall. So, pure, authentic creations through emotional release. One of the most beautiful things you can do for yourself during this full moon is process whatever emotion is coming up. And then whatever creation, whether it's content or you want to jump into your writing, or you want to jump into writing a poem, or you just need to journal, create something, paint something, crochet something, work with clay, do something creative with this full moon. You're going to feel better. And you might see more than ever how much being creative transmutes negative emotion. So, the full moon is a time of release and receive. If you haven't heard me say this yet, it's like the handoff in a relay race. The moon rules over our emotions. So you will experience it through your emotions first, then you will start to see it in reality. Release and receive. You have to release the negative emotion that is holding on to resistance in order to receive what you want, what you desire, what you hope for. It's really interesting to pay attention to this in a longer cyclical fashion. So this is the full moon in Leo. What did you plant a seed for in the new moon in Leo? 6 months ago, during Leo season. This is where working with the moon becomes so interesting and so much more fun than any other planet, in my opinion. Because you can literally see where your emotions are shifting your reality, because you processed something, because you asked for something, because you've been working towards something for months. So, if an earlier lunar phase was when you felt the emotions, this can also be the time when you receive the full manifestation. So, is this a full moon where you're releasing something, or are you receiving something? It could be both, right? It could be two different layers. It could be you're releasing something like fear or grief over losing something, but you're also receiving a new promotion, right? There's so many layers to this, and there's so many ways this can be, but I really feel like the full moon is a perfect time of release and receive. It is like the relay race, handing off the baton. The old version of you is like, here you go, girl. And you're like, oh, it's my turn. Learning to work with that energy is actually so beautiful and so much more interesting when you find that flow. So, continuing on. This is what I wish I could teach everyone and I could get everyone to understand. You could feel negative emotions during this time, and that is not a bad thing. This comes back to, is this good or bad, right? Negative emotions and processing emotion is a part of the process in healing and growing towards the new identity you truly want to be. Feel your feelings fully and let go of control. I know that is the scariest piece for most people, is to let go of control totally, release all feelings of like knowing you have this control. And the reason for that is I have been looking for this answer for years, and it was right in front of my face. In order to actually get out of survival mode and get into thriving, you have to surrender. Survival is control. Survival is, I have a total grasp on this. Thriving is accepting that you do need to allow the universe to put things together for you in order to trust in the actual flow of what's happening. You have to surrender. You have to let go of control. When you lean into the emotion and stop trying to make it something else, you will feel it, yes, but it will no longer be the brick in your neck. And what I mean by this is, a lot of people think the negative emotion is the thing they have to fix, right? They're in this place of like, no, I'm just depressed, or I'm just stuck because this thing that happened to me years and years ago. And really what needs to happen is you need to process whatever that emotion is. A lot of people want to attach that emotion to a thing that happened outside of them. But the more you acknowledge processing the emotion fully and then coming back to the now moment, that's the only thing you can actually do. So yes, when you lean into emotion and stop trying to make it something else, you will feel it fully and it will be painful, but I need you to understand processing your emotions and feeling your feelings is what helps you let go. It's what helps you move the energy in your body so that brick in your neck that has been so hard for you to get rid of finally starts to dissolve. The tension in your neck, the tension in your back, the stress you've been holding in your shoulders starts to actually dissipate. I will make a whole separate video for breath work and coming into your body through processing emotions. I know they are scary, but the power in the release is the true magic behind the moon. So processing your emotions, I think a lot of people think is just something sensitive and like only sensitive people do that and only weak people feel their feelings. Processing emotions is moving through resistance in the quantum. And I want to talk more about the quantum realm, quantum entanglement, quantum mechanics, emotional connections through your nervous system and understanding the quantum through emotions. But that's a lot. So right now we're going to stay focused. Feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. Just trust me on that one, okay? I truly believe this is a good transit, but it's not easy, okay? It's good, not easy. We are cosmically feeling a huge shift in the collective in what we believe is even possible. The will to do it, the clarity to know how it is we can contribute as individuals. This is a huge change for everyone alive, but especially for people with heavy Aquarius and Leo placements. Pluto is activating the collective in ways that is really hard to put into words. So when I talk about this energy, I just want you to understand this is not something you can stop. This is not something you can tap out of. This is something to acknowledge, something to notice, and something to ground yourself around. You can't do everything for everyone. And learning to no longer self-sacrifice is how we're actually going to make real change. So when I say that, I truly believe you cannot empower somebody else if you are so depleted and exhausted and you have no joy in your life. So please do not take this time as a sign to quit the thing that makes you happy. Do not take everything going on in the world as a sign to give up on hope. Take what is currently happening as a sign that things are changing. Change is uncomfortable and it's a mess before it gets better. With all of that being said, make sure to check your whole sign chart, your whole sign natal chart, for the most direct way to understand how you will be impacted by this energy. This is a whole sign chart of the exact moment the moon will be full. This is a time to go within and realize that the collective is made up of all of us. If we are all truly connected to our own inner truth, our own inner knowing, our own inner being, and divinely guided by source energy, that is how we will all learn to trust our intuition on a deeper level. And I truly believe it would be more obvious and easier for us to do things differently this time, to make real change in the world, to not be so afraid of these giant corporations and giant businesses that seem to just be this never-ending cycle. I see things shifting in ways that are so tiny that if you're not paying attention, you might miss it, but they're going to be huge. Small businesses, people supporting other people. I'm an astrologer, and a lot of the astrologers I've met just want me to do well too. Not every single one of them. There are still some people stuck in that mentality that if you're succeeding, then I can't succeed too. That's really not how it works. And Aquarius energy is, how does everyone get a seat at the table? So you do have to really understand the universe wants to support us in whatever it is that we want. It's not about forcing it to happen, but stepping into the version of yourself that has it. Okay? And I feel like this is the thing that people don't realize. What I teach is not just manifestation work. Okay? I'm not just trying to teach you how to get the thing you want. I'm trying to teach you that you are so beyond powerful and you are creating your reality, and your life has meaning, your life has purpose. And the more you align with what brings you joy, the more you're actually helping the collective. But here's the trick. What I truly want is to help people choose to see their own capacity and ability to create a reality they actually want to live in. This way, more people will be kinder and potentially make the world a better place. You can manifest whatever you want, but you can't manifest for anyone else. The hardest truth I have learned on this journey is that I cannot want it for someone else enough to overcome their own alignment. This is why I am determined to create a space that helps you feel like the best version of yourself as often as you can. This is why I created the Lunar Library. Actively choosing your highest self again and again will lead to success over time. But you have to believe more in the future desire than your own self-doubt. That is the trick. And it can literally be 51% to 49%. Okay? I'm not asking you to believe in yourself so much that you never have doubt. Your belief in your future has to be just 1 to 2% louder than the self-doubt. And as a Capricorn sun and moon in the 8th house, I know a little thing or two about self-doubt. Show up to the fear. Allow yourself to create. Allow it to be messy. Allow it to be uncomfortable. Process whatever negative emotion is coming up and watch yourself expand. Watch yourself grow. Watch yourself release that thing that you're like, oh my God, I thought I would never let that go. And it's gone. That's the trick. Little by little by little. This is why I'm obsessed with working with the moon. Because every cycle you whittle away that old fear, that old self-doubt. Every lunar cycle you get stronger and stronger, or every lunar cycle you remind yourself why you're incapable. It is your choice to see your own capacity and ability. The hardest truth I've ever learned is that I cannot want it more for someone. I can't want it enough for them to just randomly overcome their own alignment. I can tell you exactly what steps to do. I can tell you exactly how to make it happen. But if you are so sure of your own demise, you can't be successful. You have to learn to believe in yourself. So, this is an alchemist's dream. And what I teach all day, every day, is alchemy. Taking your negative emotions, processing them, and using that as fuel to truly align with your desires. This is not about bypassing. This is about realizing the universe is constantly in rhythm. Astrology is the giant clock in the sky of the timing of the way things are clicking together. And the more you notice it, the more obvious it becomes, the more you trust in the alignment, the more you trust in yourself. Astrology is the tool I use to trust where I am on my path and release the tension, release the stress over what I feel like I want to change or what I think needs to be different. Use this time as a way to fully align with your true self by forgiving yourself for whatever it is you still think you need to do in order to be acceptable, and lean into a deeper faith that everything can change in the drop of a hat. If you need more support, you can join the Lunar Library. We meet every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time as of right now, or book a one-on-one session with me to see the magic behind your own natal chart. You don't always have to feel good in order to manifest your dreams. You have to accept where you are, feel it fully, then face whatever fear is standing in the way of your next level. This is Lunar Alchemy. I hope you enjoyed this video all about this full moon in Leo opposing all of this Aquarius energy, and the part of fortune too. Almost forgot about her, which is very interesting. Part of fortune is like, it's like a little wink from the universe. Love it. Love it. I hope you enjoyed this video on this astrology transit. The full moon in Leo is going to be a beautiful, intense energy on February 1st that is going to be truly life-changing if you learn to understand the rhythm and the flow and how everything is intertwined and interconnected. It's not about this one thing, this one time, this one moment that changes everything. It's about alignment again and again and again and again. So if you need that support, if you need that space to be able to do that, check out the Lunar Library. And I will see you again shortly. I really appreciate you, and I will see you soon. Bye.